Hello, I'm Sneha Koshi, and our top story, BJP has finally released its first list of candidates for Karnataka. This even as Congress has already released 166 names of the 224 seats that are up for contest. Now, Chief Minister Bommai is supposed to contest from his own stronghold, Shigaon, whereas there are two ministers who are going to be taking on the Congress heavyweights and likely CM candidates, whether it be Siddaramaiah or DK Shivkumar. I'm being joined by my colleague Shrija to give us more on this. Shrija, break this down for us. Names announced against Congress bigwigs, heavyweights. How is the BJP list looking? Even as Shettar really is not, the rebel Shettar as we can call him now, is not in the first list.
Well, that's the Hubli-Dharwad Central Constituency, which has not been included in the first list of candidates, where we see the BJP has announced at least in 189 assembly segments. And we are also hearing that news coming in. He's likely to visit Delhi, trying to convince the BJP High Command that why especially that particular constituency seat will have to be given to Jagdish Shettar. He did, of course, call for a press conference saying that the BJP High Command had in fact asked him to, step aside for this assembly elections. That means in a way to directly tell him that it was enough of his service. But however, he tried to convince the BJP High Command that he said he wants to serve for another term, and if that is not being done, he clearly threatened the BJP, saying that no matter what, he will not stay away from the poll fray. So that was directly threatening the BJP High Command. Now, if that happens, it was a direct threat to the BJP, saying that if he is not allowed to contest from a BJP ticket in the Hubli-Dharwad Central Constituency, there are chances, what sources also tell us, that even if he contests, that is as an independent candidate, there are chances that he can, shift that votes directly to him as a candidate. So that definitely will be a threat to the BJP as far as the Hubli-Dharwad Central Constituency is concerned. Of course, the big names and the big fight we are looking at this particular list, firstly, of course, is, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, the two contenders, key contenders for the CM's post from the Congress. Yes, against DK Shivkumar from the Congress in Kanakpura constituency, we're going to see a sitting minister, a revenue minister, incumbent minister, Ashok, contesting against DK Shivkumar. So clearly that is a Vokkaliga constituency, which forms the second largest, population as far as 15% of the Vokkaliga population in the state of Karnataka. That is very, very crucial as far as the BJP is concerned. Apart from, the Lingayat community, which constitutes nearly 17%. That definitely determines the poll outcomes for the BJP. Now coming to the powerhouse of the Congress, of course, is Siddaramaiah himself. Siddaramaiah himself contesting, especially from Varuna constituency. Now you have a new candidate. Now V. Somana, a sitting minister, housing minister, he has been complaining lately, saying that he's been, sidelined by the party, the BJP party.
Right.
Now for the first time, he will be contesting, especially from two new constituencies, because he has always contested from Govindrajnagar in Bengaluru. One major reason why we understand he is a Lingayat himself, and that particular constituency, which is Varuna, at least has a population of over 60,000 Lingayats, which means clearly it is a tough fight what we're going to witness, especially in Varuna constituency.
Right.
And in the list, we are looking at least, a little over 9 sitting MLAs names have been dropped. One major name that we are looking at, of course, is Raghupati Bhatt from Udupi.
Right.
For the first time, we are going to see Yashpal Suvarna, who was very vocal about the hijab ban. Now he will be contesting from Udupi. Secondly, of course, Anand Singh, the rebel MLA who was instrumental in toppling the coalition government, the JDS and the Congress in 2019, his chance of contesting has been given to his son, Siddharth Singh.
Right. Thank you very much, Shrija, for those details. And from BJP in Karnataka to Congress in Rajasthan. There seems to be trouble in Rajasthan for Congress, as one of the top party leaders is openly defying the party, many calling this CM Gehlot versus Pilot 2.0 ahead of the state elections.
Split wide open. The Congress party in Rajasthan on a rocky road again, with Sachin Pilot's latest dare to long-time rival and Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. Sachin Pilot sat on a day-long hunger strike against corruption. On the other hand, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot remained largely confined to his residence. But as soon as Pilot began his hunger strike, Gehlot timed it with his message for Rajasthan, projecting himself as the messiah for the poor.
आपका बोझ मेरा बोझ है. अगर महंगाई का बोझ हल्का होगा तो आपकी तरक्की होगी तो राजस्थान की भी तरक्की होगी.
The Congress High Command appears to be approaching the latest conundrum with some caution. After a stern warning to Pilot for his anti-party activities, Pilot appeared to have toned down the rhetoric.
अब जब चुनाव में 6-7 महीने रह गए हैं, जनता के बीच दोबारा हमको जाना है, इसलिए मैं चाहता था कि इस पर हम कार्रवाई करें. पत्र लिखने के बाद, दो बार याद दिलाने के बाद भी जब कार्रवाई नहीं हुई, तो मैंने आज इसलिए अनशन रखा.
क्यों इसको एंटी पार्टी गतिविधि क्यों बताया है?
मुझे आज सुबह जानकारी मिली है, इस बारे में कांग्रेस लीडरशिप से बात करूंगा.
As Sachin Pilot took centre stage today, not a single poster reflecting the Congress symbol. No posters with images of Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi either. In his bid to project himself as a lone crusader against corruption, is Sachin Pilot weaving an identity sans the Congress is a big question now. The BJP that looks to cash in on anti-incumbency in the state that has a tradition of unseating the party in power was quick to take a jibe at the bickering Congress leaders.
अब चूंकि सितंबर के आखिरी सप्ताह में आचार संहिता आ जाएगी, 6.5 महीने 7 महीने पहले इस प्रकार का आरोप लगाना, मैं उन्हीं से सवाल करता हूं कि उनकी ये चुप्पी क्या सिद्ध करती है जो उन्होंने 4 साल 4 महीने चुप्पी साधी रखी. अचानक भ्रष्टाचार का ये जिन कहां से ले आए.
Elections in Rajasthan are now just 8 months away, and is this a turning point for the Congress? Will these two political leaders, keen on projecting their own political personas, walk the path together, or will their roads diverge? In Jaipur, with Vedant Agarwal, Harsha Kumari Singh, NDTV. And even as the political crisis was playing out in Rajasthan, Rahul Gandhi and his sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra visited Wayanad, Rahul's former constituency, their first visit since Rahul's disqualification as a parliamentarian. The optics was the message.
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's Satyameva Jayate rally in Kerala's Wayanad, along with sister Priyanka Gandhi and other senior Congress leaders, was a massive show of strength to convey that despite being disqualified last month after a conviction by a Surat court, Rahul Gandhi enjoys immense popularity in the constituency that elected him in 2019 with a 4 lakh majority.
The MP member of parliament is just a tag. They can take away the house, they can put me in jail, but they cannot stop me from representing the people of Wayanad.
Both Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka said losing the MP tag or being thrown out of his official house would not silence him.
And we are not scared of your intimidation, your aggression, your nastiness. In fact, we find it quite amusing.
I find it even stranger that a whole government, every minister, every MP, even the Prime Minister himself, finds it acceptable and appropriate to malign and mercilessly attack one man just because he asked a question they could not respond to.
A sessions court in Surat has granted Rahul Gandhi bail. A 2-year sentence was put on hold till the court takes a call on his appeal challenging the order of the Surat magistrate. The next hearing is on April 13. With inputs from Wayanad, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
And the Election Commission has recognized the Aam Aadmi Party as a national party and withdrew the national party status of Trinamool Congress, NCP and CPI. And amid Aam Aadmi Party's mega celebrations, the others have political plans as well.
The Aam Aadmi Party is celebrating its newly acquired national party status. With chief ministers in 2 states and a presence in other states like Gujarat and Goa, It's India's newest national party.
कि कहां से कहां आ गए, तो इसका मतलब ऊपर वाला कुछ कराना चाह रहा है हमसे। आम आदमी पार्टी की विचारधारा के 3 स्तंभ हैं, याद है ना सबको? याद नहीं है? 3 स्तंभ हैं। कट्टर ईमानदारी, दूसरा स्तंभ है कट्टर देशभक्ति, और तीसरा स्तंभ है इंसानियत।
But several opposition parties have lost their national party status. This includes Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress, Sharad Pawar's Nationalist Congress Party and the Communist Party of India. The NCP says it will work towards regaining its national party status, while the Trinamool is seeking legal opinion on the Election Commission's move.
TMC has overcome many obstacles. It will overcome this obstacle also.
गोवा में गए, आसाम में गए, मेघालय में गए, ज्यादातर जगह पे उनको मुंह खानी पड़ी। वहाँ के जनता ने उनको अपनी औकात समझा दिया, और अभी जो डेटा उपलब्ध है उससे उन लोगों का नेशनल पार्टी का जो तकमा है वो चला गया।
Regional parties that have lost the national party status are now strategizing to regain it. But ahead of the 2024 national elections, as they try and form a national platform, these parties say the timing of this decision is a setback more in terms of perception rather than electoral prospects. With camera person GD Shankar in Kolkata, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
And India has rejected comments by China over Home Minister Amit Shah's visit to Arunachal Pradesh, saying such objections do not change the ground reality. China had opposed Amit Shah's visit to Arunachal Pradesh, claiming it was a violation of Beijing's territorial sovereignty. External Affairs Minister spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said, "We completely reject the comments made by the Chinese official spokesperson. Indian leaders routinely travel to the state of Arunachal Pradesh as they do to any other state of India. Arunachal Pradesh was, is and will always remain an integral and inalienable part of India. Objecting to such visits does not stand to reason and will not change reality," he said. And hospitals across India have conducted another round of mock drills. COVID cases have been on the rise for the past several months, even as positivity rate has also been on the rise. But at least some relief that the cases have not been severe.
No need to worry, say doctors, as COVID infections increase across India, bringing the active caseload up to 37,093 patients. Several states have imposed the mask mandate once again, and hospitals across the country are conducting mock drills in preparation for a possible fourth wave. But top medical professionals say that there is no cause for panic.
ये जो केसेस बढ़े हैं वो ओमिक्रॉन का ही एक रूप है, वायरस म्यूटेंट है जो XBB कहते हैं उसको, और उसके बहुत सारे सब वेरिएंट्स भी हैं, लेकिन ये गंभीर बीमारी नहीं कर रहा है।
This subvariant of Omicron, called XBB, is highly infectious and has led to a rapid rise in cases across the country. 5,676 cases have been reported in the past 24 hours, and the daily positivity rate stands at 3.81%. However, doctors report few hospitalizations, seen mainly in patients with pre-existing conditions, and say that patients are recovering quickly.
We have seen that although the positivity is very high, around 25%, the number of indoor hospitalization or ICU admissions are very, very less, and the recovery rate is above 98%. That is very good.
Meanwhile, schools in a number of states have made wearing masks a must, the only protection for kids below the age of 12. Thankfully, children are minimally affected by the current wave, according to doctors.
जो राष्ट्रीय नीति के हिसाब से 12 साल से बड़ी उम्र के बच्चे जो है 12 से 18 के बीच में उनको टीकाकरण करवाना है। कुल मिलाकर ऐसा है कि बच्चों में जैसे कि पहले रहा है पिछले 3 साल में कि बच्चों सौभाग्य से प्रभावित ज्यादा नहीं होते। पहले तो इनको इन्फेक्शन होता तो है, लेकिन हल्का जो लक्षण है वो भी बहुत कम होते हैं।
Although the subvariant that's driving the recent uptick in COVID numbers is highly infectious, which is why we're seeing a high positivity rate, doctors believe that it's much milder than what they saw in previous waves, suggesting that the virulence or the severity of the coronavirus is decreasing successively. In New Delhi with camera person Prem Singh, this is Naitara Singh for NDTV.
And if you're living in Bengaluru, particularly on rent, you may well be burning a hole in your pockets ahead of the Karnataka elections, one of the issues that the Aam Janta seem to be worried of.
Most people working in the Silicon Valley of India resorted to remote working culture during the pandemic, which led to them departing the city. And this phenomenon also led to rents falling down drastically. But now, Bengaluru city is stirring back to life, with private sectors thriving, boosting economy further, and the landlords find this to be a perfect opportunity to regain lost revenue and find themselves proving dominance in a seller's market. Bengaluru, according to market observers, stands on top among Indian cities for rent yield with 3.9%.
30-year-old Ankita Suhas Bhavanekar is one such person who went to her hometown Mumbai during the pandemic. She was in for a shock when she returned to Bengaluru.
One struggle that I've seen from pre-pandemic to post is the rentals that they've been charging, the deposits, and also finding a decent locality and a decent house. In 2018, I used to live in a 4 BHK penthouse. I paid around 10,000 rupees as a rental. For a similar room, for a similar society with the same amenities, I am paying 2x the charges.
Pre-pandemic deposits were around 1 lakh to 2 lakh rupees. Today, it's anywhere between 6 lakh to 7 lakh rupees.
Just not the tenants, but owners as well. I mean, it's at the end, you're looking at a level of comfort. I mean, it's just a relationship between the owner and the tenant. So, I mean, the moment you're able to crack that, that's where you transact. And today's market is such that you cannot be picky.
This 17-kilometer stretch of outer ring road alone houses many international companies from Google to Amazon. Media reports say there are around 350 companies employing 1 million workers here, and the rising demand is met with shortage of supply. Property consultancy firm Anarok points to 3% addition in residential flats in the first quarter of this year in Bengaluru as compared to 55% in Mumbai.
The construction slowed down quite a bit during the COVID, right? So a lot of apartments that were scheduled to be handed over haven't been. So there is a shortage of demand, and because there's an influx of people who are coming into Bangalore, invariably the supply seems to be much lesser.
It is 3 months now with 60 houses scoured, and Ankita is still looking for that sweet home where her heart as well as her purse is. Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Welcome back. And Ukrainian Deputy Foreign Minister, who was on a visit to India, said President Zelensky would like to address the G20 summit in India in September. The Deputy Minister also added that India's National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, will travel to Ukraine soon. She also appealed for India's support to Ukraine and said Ukraine's invasion has lessons for India with difficult neighbors like Pakistan and China.
It's a very important role that India is now playing, presiding in G20. Our expectation is again quite clear. We believe that discussion about economy and the future economy and economic situation in the world is not possible without frank discussion about the repercussions of the war of Russia against Ukraine, because it has an impact to the economic growth, it has an impact to the economy and economies of G20. So our message and my message today in India with all of my visits is let us consider the participation of Ukrainian officials at the events of G20.
And here's Hello India from Apple. Apple is set to launch their first set of stores in Mumbai and Delhi. Apple CEO Tim Cook scheduled a visit to India for this occasion. Let's have a look at what Apple has in store for India.
The first pictures of Apple's retail store in New Delhi, one of two stores, the other one in Mumbai, that the tech giant is launching in India next week. Apple CEO Tim Cook is likely to be present for the opening of both the stores. Mr. Cook's likely visit is an indication that Apple will diversify its assembly operations beyond China, with India clocking all-time high iPhone sales and exports from the country reaching billions of dollars. According to sources, Apple has sought a meeting for Cook with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Indian government's push for electronics manufacturing has offered massive incentives to attract international players. Animan Parashar for NDTV.
And that's all we have for you in this bulletin. Thank you for watching.